This year, we are going to have a record of 4 months of Venus in Leo. Now, Venus stations retrograde so rarely that when it does, it's felt much more strongly than a Mercury retrograde. On July 23rd, 2023, Venus is going to station retrograde in the sign of Leo. It's going to stay here for 40 days and 40 nights, and then it will station direct again on September 4th. So currently, we're experiencing the pre-retrograde, the pre-shadow of it. Now, Venus stations retrograde in the same sign every 8 years, and it activates a similar area of your life in your chart. It brings up similar themes to your attention. The last time Venus was retrograde in the sign of Leo was in July to September 2015. So think back, what was going on in your life back then? Remember that Venus rules love, relationships, money, finances, beauty, appearance, design, aesthetics, comfort, sustenance, and art. So during this retrograde transit, all of those things that are ruled by Venus, they tend to be in favor of past connections. So issues that maybe you have swept under the rug from the past, they tend to come back in order for you to have an opportunity to work them out. Opportunities from the past can be illuminated brightly. Past customers or contacts, they can bring wonderful prosperity. Maybe debts that were owed, they can be now paid back to your surprise. People who you were once connected with in one way or another, it's a reconnection of sort. It's a time to rethink, to experiment, to deal with what comes up. This is also a really great time to actively dive deep into the mechanics of how do you view with your money? How do you view relationships? What about your self-esteem? This is going to be dealt with through some deep inner work. Venus is the sign of relationships, and Leo is extremely passionate. Leo lives like living strictly from your heart. Venus retrograde in Leo is asking you to listen to your heart. Venus retrograde is asking you to, do you feel joyful? Do you feel alive? Are you happy in these relationships? So at this time, prepare to go inward and backward into the challenges and the joys from your past as they relate to love and romance, finances, your income, self-esteem, your physical appearance, and anything that's Venus related. This retrograde is going to be a period of an invitation to claim your light and your creative energy that maybe you have dimmed because of a lack of boundaries, or maybe you were experiencing an out of balance with power dynamics. Leo is the sign of generosity, warmth, and vitality. We can be the most generous when we are living authentically and in alignment with our heart, as opposed to always trying to be the nice one and living in a codependent place. When you reflect back, are there major themes around relationships, self-worth, your values? And what are your relationships to money? What about themes around boundaries and power dynamics? What are your relationships to work and ideas around what is success? What is progress? What is productivity to you? With Venus completing this cycle in Leo, you are invited to integrate the themes of this cycle to live a more radiant, heart-centered life. So hi, I'm Patricia Tate with WillowGraceMystic.com, and this is your astrology forecast for Venus retrograde for July 23rd through September 4th, 2023. So let's dive in. So for Aries Sun and Aries Rising, Venus retrograde is going to fall in your 5th house. So the 5th house is about children, being childlike, art, creativity, music. The 5th house is also the house of romance and self-expression. Aries, which is the sign that most likely is to receive these visits of people from the past, your past romantic encounters. Now, this is also when old friends or old exes or old flings that they may come back in and resurface. Remember that anything that is reignited at this time, at the end of the retrograde, it may end again kind of the way it started. It's like picking up the past, looking at it again, and it's an opportunity for self-reflection to potentially learn a lesson about defending what you deserve. And at the same time, you can have a chance for a deep dive into some introspection and some self-work that could lead you to feeling more fulfilled creativity. Maybe making more room in your life for fun and for pleasure. This time could also have you going back, and maybe you had a project that you had started, maybe something with music or something with, remember, this is the house of what brings joy to you. This could be you picking back up where you left off to give it a second chance. There could be children at this time wanting to move back in. Remember, this is the house of children, being childlike, or the house of joy, whatever brings joy to you. So for Taurus Sun and Taurus Rising, Venus retrograde is going to be in your 4th house of home. This is home, real estate, your people that live in the home with you. This is about your relationships with your family members, people that you value the most. This is your domestic sphere. Everything about your home is going to be highlighted at this time. Maybe you take time to reassess where you're living and the property that you own. It's going to be time for you to look at how much money is this costing you. But it's also going to be about pleasure and bringing peace that it's going to bring you with what truly brings pleasure to you at your home. You could be reflecting on some of these familial bonds. This could bring family that you have been out of contact with back in connection. It could be reconnecting you with loved ones from the past in a way that you can take advantage of this transit to have it last longer, or to revisit maybe certain boundaries that, when held, that are best for everyone involved. Maybe some family from the past that you're reconnected, and now you have a stronger boundary and you can live better. So maybe it's not just like the adult child and the parent, but it's in a healthy relationship of that. There could be children or family that could be moving back into your home at this time. So it's about establishing those rules and those boundaries so that it can be a healthy time for everyone involved. So for Gemini Sun and Gemini Rising, this is occurring in your 3rd house of communication. Now, remember that Venus is beauty and romance and pleasure. And so this 3rd house is also associated with the what you are comfortable with. It's your social life. It's going to be like firing on all cylinders. Venus retrograde here is going to encourage you to be more intentional with your time and your energy around people, places, and things that are around your home, things that you want to do. So it's maybe possible that you're going to be saying yes to people who you wouldn't normally necessarily do the same for you throughout this transit. You're going to have this chance to reassess these bonds and possibly set new boundaries to protect your mental, your spiritual boundaries around neighbors, siblings, cousins. It's things that you do close to home. This is about your emotional well-being. It's also an opportunity for you to be writing and journaling, going back to an old project or going back to something that you enjoyed doing. This could be work. This could be anything that has to do with something that you picked up that now you can maybe finish in order for you to publish later. Remember, this is the house of communication, writing, journaling, publishing, things that you also do for work and for pleasure. So for Cancer Sun and Cancer Rising, Venus retrograde is going to be falling in your 2nd house of your personal self-worth and your personal income. This transit is about rethinking what is your relationship to money and how is your relationship tied up into how you make money and use money, where your money goes. It might have you thinking about other projects that you're just not getting enough out of, and maybe cutting ties with some of those things. It will bring up all topics of where you spend your money, where you are financially gain recognition from. It could include for work also, about I'm working this hard, I need this pay raise, or I need this bonus. Or this could just be you realizing that you're bringing your skills to the table for a purpose that maybe just doesn't align with your own. And so now's your chance to allow your heart to say something about when it comes to your earning, and you could ultimately lead you down an even more successful path of saying, this is my worth, I want the pay raise, or this no longer is of value to me, I'm willing to sell this or to get rid of this or to share this with somebody else. Remember, this is about things that you personally value. So for Leo Sun and Leo Rising, this is occurring in your first house of self. How you look, how you act, how people see you. This is going to be huge for you. It's going to be an exciting opportunity to basically reinvent yourself. You might be experimenting with your hair, makeover, a website, how people see you, your resume, how you are on social media. This is how you present yourself to the world. Can now go through an amazing makeover. You're going to have this chance to now switch up how you present your personal brand and how you show up to the world. The first house is on the same axis of the seventh house of partnership. So you're going to be reflecting onto the dynamics of your 1+1 house. This is about how you show up to your one-on-one with clients, your significant other, your best friends. It's everybody who is out there in the world that you want to now be viewed as different. This could also be a change in name or a change in title. This is you saying, I want to reinvent me. So for Virgo Sun and Virgo Rising, this is occurring in your 12th house. So the 12th house for you is about your spirituality. It's your dreams. It's your intuition. It's your spirit guides. It's your house of solitude. And so this is going to be blurring your typical rationale, your clear vision of what you really desire. It's going to have you going back and rethinking about some things. So you're rethinking about your romantic life or the way you make money. So all types of relationships. Everything can be a little bit hazy during this time period of going back and rethinking about some things. You feel like you have your finger on like the pulse of some things, and this might have you saying, in order for you to plan ahead and to create space for self-exploration, I need to now take time for me. This could be through journaling, through meditation. Now's the time where you're going to tap into your inner magic. The more you can sit in the unknown space and through either dreams or meditation, the better it's going to be for you, because it's about you going back and within and saying, what magic can I bring? I need to tap into what I have. What is my self-worth? What do I bring to the table? So for Libra and Libra rising, Venus is your ruler. And so Venus moving back through your 11th house, this is your house of hopes and dreams and wishes and your personal goals. And this is also about how you network, the groups that you belong in order to accomplish these goals that you want. So this is going to be a period in which these old friends or old work associates, they could be popping up and you could be reconnecting with them. You could find that you're maybe picking up a group or a project that was you maybe put on hold, or that was back in the Netherlands, and now you're saying, I haven't done that for a while, or I want to connect back up with this because now I feel satisfied, I feel productive, these are my new goals. So also at the same time, you could be rethinking, what groups do you really want to be part of? What communities do you want to be part of? What platonic relationships that you want to show up for? This is a chance for you to go back and rethink all of those topics in your life to say, where do I want to dedicate myself, and what groups do I want to maybe cut ties with or finish so I can move forward with new. You can revisit these old projects, old dreams. The connections to your group affiliations and networks are going to provide you the catalyst to move forward with these completion of these projects or these hopes and dreams that you have. So for Scorpio Sun and Scorpio Rising, this Venus retrograde is going to fall in your 10th house, which is the top of your chart. It's the house of your career, your public image. It's how you are seen in public with leaving a legacy. It's you at work. So this is really pushing you to rethink, how do you approach the big picture of what are your goals? Are you making a name for yourself? Is this your professional sphere that you want to be in? You might realize that you had this aspiration that you once held in high regard, and now it just doesn't align with your values right now, and you want to now shift or turn or pivot. You could also be inspired to re-envision the best way to make your mark or leave your legacy, with whom you'll partner with to reach the finish line or the end result. This could leave a lasting legacy. And who do you partner up to do that with? You may want to reinvent your public image at this time. Remember, this is about you in the public life, people, places, and things coming back into your life for a short period of time to reimagine and refocus where you want to go for like a redirection of sorts. So for Sagittarius Sun and Sagittarius Rising, Venus, the planet of romance, is now going to be going backward through your 9th house of adventure and higher learning, foreign people, places, and things, spirituality. This is going to provide you with this opportunity in which you can take a step back and possibly reset your belief system, or this is you going back and reconnecting with people that you have met while traveling, or wanting to go back and visit places that you've already traveled. Maybe this is you taking a step back and resetting your belief system. Maybe you're so passionate about these philosophies that maybe you were disillusioned by this impulse, and now you need to reassess, where are you with all of this? That's why you're going to lean on friends and loved ones. You're going to be wanting to talk through these big picture ideas before you leap forward. This will be a 40 days and 40 nights of thinking back. I felt good when I was here. Will it feel good now if I go back there? Do I really want to be there? Do I want to study this? Do I want to take this class? Can I publish this? You need to move beyond this transit with more clarity around what do you want to pour your passion into, revisiting places of interest, reconnecting with people from your travels. This is really going to be a great time for trying foods for like the second time. Maybe you forgot about how much you really loved a person, place, or thing from your past, and this will be an opportunity to connect to have an ending or a conclusion in order to move forward with. So for Capricorn Sun and Capricorn Rising, this last Venus retrograde, it's activating your 8th house. The 8th house is the house of shared resources. It's emotional bonds. It's joint finances. This one could be a different vibe for you. You're going to want to meditate on the best path to move forward with any joint financial projects like taxes, investments, real estate. Remember that the 8th house is alimony, child support, it's wills, it's anything that you share with others. So during this transit, you going back over and taking a second look at anything that you do within this house. Because the zone also covers your intimacy and sex, you're also going to want to set aside some time to get in touch with your physical and your emotional needs. You're going to want to explore the important part of the overall well-being of yourself, so that this can leave you feeling more empowered and inspired before this transit ends. So for Aquarius Sun and Aquarius Rising, Venus retrograde is going to fall in your 7th house of partnerships. It's your 1+1 house. It's you with clients, relationships, friendships, your business partnerships, your significant other. So your one-on-one connections, they're very much going to be at the forefront in your and center of your life right now. You can review what you are bringing to the table as much as your partner is. So you might want to consider what you get out of bounds with, whether This is a romantic or a platonic or a professional relationship. Your one-on-one, your clients. Are you communicating your needs? Are you hearing others out or what their needs are? Because this could be the key for you to feel more satisfied, to feel more secure, for you to feel more seen. These are important relationships that are in your life. This is the house of all important relationships. People from your past can surely revisit. This could be for a second go around. This could be clients coming back into your life. This could be exes coming back in. This could be old friends coming back in. Know that this transit is going to end, and when that does, everything else they will also go to the wayside. This is about an ending and a closure of a chapter in your life. So for Pisces Sun and Pisces Rising, the Venus retrograde is going to be occurring in your 6th house. Now, the 6th house for you is your pets, it's your service, it's your habits, it's your routines, it's your wellness. It's where guides come in to support us. And so you're going to have a chance to reimagine, how do you care for yourself? Are you setting aside enough time for your mental, physical, spiritual health and well-being? Part of this can pinpoint what you want and what you need from loved ones and friends on a day-to-day basis, and making that your needs more apparent. The Leo energy of this retrograde can inspire you to be more reciprocal in your relationships, to make sure that there's equal workloads. And before fall begins, your confidence, your sense of inner balance, it could feel like shining and soaring. This transit can have you possibly taking a second look at who are the mentors that you've used in the past or the guides that you've used in the past, and maybe revisiting them to talk to them about where you are in your life. This could also be reconnecting you with who have you mentored, who have you guided along. Remember that the house is not just you, but it's of where you were of service to others and your health. So maybe you're taking a second look at your health from the past and routines that you used to do, and maybe revisiting for a second go round. So as always, I would love to hear about how this resonates with you in your life in the comments below. And for an individual reading, you can schedule at willowgracemystic.com. And to get updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe.